Welcome to Rom Wills Money Matters. Many businesses are connected with fashion. And I've talked about the fashion industry before, but I'm gonna tell you what, I was up in New York a couple weeks ago for the Game Kings 2 seminar. And, I've talked about it and mentioned it on my main channel, but okay, I'm in the middle of Manhattan. I'm staying at the famous New Yorker Hotel, up the street from 1 block away from Madison Square Garden, a few blocks away from Times Square. And I had a bit of time to walk around a little bit, and I checked out the Macy's down there, Herald Square, the flagship store. And I was looking at the fashion. I was looking at the styles. Okay, cool. And of course, they had other stores down there. And you know how my mind is. I started to churn and everything. And I was thinking about fashion. I'm gonna tell you what, fashion, there is so many businesses connected with fashion. In fact, I can't think of this guy's name, but I think it's the guy behind Louis Vuitton. Arnault, something like that. I don't really follow it like that, but one of the world's richest men is just dealing with fashion. And I'm gonna tell you what, there's so many businesses connected with just clothing. Think about it. It was like, and it's almost like a sure thing. In fact, I've known personally some fashion designers who were living well, had stores and everything, and all they were selling were t-shirts. I remember like back in the day, early 2000s, when or even before that, because I was in the fashion industry for a second. I had some t-shirts, a sportswear line. Yeah, 1,000 jobs. I had a sportswear line, and I actually had it in a few stores. And then I remember paying attention to some guys who had their stores, young guys. They had some stores selling some stuff. Because think about how many businesses are connected. First of all, you got the factories to make the clothes. You got the designers, you got the artists putting stuff on the shirt, like just t-shirts, Or if you're getting more sophisticated, you still got to make the stuff. You still got to sell the stuff. You got models. I know we know about these high-tech fashion models. Well, high fashion models and everything. What they work in clothing. So you got a whole industry connected with that. You got the stores, department stores, small stores, whatever. Shoot, you got a subculture connected with sneakers. Sneakerheads, that's you got a whole subculture connected with that. And it's just so much just based on clothes, if y'all think about it, because the one thing is we can't walk around out here butt naked unless you're on the nudist beach. But most of us got to wear clothing, and think about it, even psychologically. And I'm talking about this on my men's channel. Just your presentation, what type of clothes that you wear to different events, how people are going to perceive you, how they're going to look at your clothing, how they're going to say, oh, okay, that person's middle class, that person's poor. They're going to treat you different according to that. And I mean, it's so much. It's so much. Now I know, you got that retail apocalypse and everything. People ain't talking about as much. Some clothing stores are closing, but it's still being sold somewhere. Indeed, all that's happening is the discount stores actually doing business. They're not complaining. It's mainly the middle class stores that are having a problem. And that gets into some other stuff, but people still getting the clothes. Shoot, even if you're getting stuff from Goodwill, that's still clothing. It's so much. Like if you're interested in a business, like if you got t-shirts, let's just say you got t-shirts, and yeah, it's oversaturated, but the beauty of clothing is most people ain't gonna wear the same clothing every day. And you can buy several styles. So say you got these t-shirts, and I mean, you can go in the mall and see different stores selling different types of t-shirts. And I mean, that's a thing. And indeed, If you think about online, now, you know, I've said before, don't, you know, rely on it totally. If you got a store you sell and have a brick and mortar and online, but think about how many businesses online clothing sales is creating or connected to. I mean, you got whole delivery services based on that. I mean, it's so much. I mean, web pages, everything. And if you think about it, so many things touch that. So many things touch that, you know? Because we need clothes. That's like one of those things that's up there with food. Unless you live someplace where you can walk around butt naked. Even then, you want to like pay for that place. You go ahead and throw on some clothes to get that loan. So, but I was just sit back and think about it though. Sit back and think about it. If you have a good clothing design, you know, you could sell it. And I'll mention the artisan movement, shoot. In fact, I'm going to tell you what. Depending on where you live, you could probably make your own. Because I remember when I was doing the athletic wear, I started looking into ways just to make shirts fresh. Now, if you happen to have a spot where you can put like a shirt making machine or something like that, boom. And indeed, one business is getting wholesale blank shirts. You know, you could sell it, everything. It's so many things connected, so interconnected. It's like, really, it is something that if you decided you wanted to jump into, you could do it. In fact, shoot, on my YouTube channels, I could put some saying on a shirt and start selling that. It probably will eventually. But the thing is, if you're thinking about a business, that's something to get into. And even if you have, okay, you're not artistic or anything, you could still probably, okay. Like I talked about vending shows on my Tuesday video. You could probably just get some shirts or something like that and sell them. Like I know a gentleman, and I still have one of his t-shirts from like decades ago. I still have it. It's still in good shape. I always see him at different vending shows. And I mean, he's still in business. He got a shop and everything. And he's still doing well. Like if you really know what you're doing, Nate, if you have a combination of being able to make clothes or designs or something like that, and have a brick and mortar, which is also connected to it. If you just own real estate, if I got commercial real estate, I'll be looking for clothing stores too. Food and clothing stores, people need both. But if you think about it, just so many things. I mean, I could probably go an hour. If I sat down and just wrote down stuff, shoot, you got so many things. So many things. Textile factories, textiles. I mean, just to make the clothes. Everything, shoot. It's just so much if you really think about it. Yeah, just really think about it. Like if you have an interest in something, and like I say, you don't have to be art. You could just sell the stuff, you know? But just something to think about. So anyway, though, y'all know the deal. Let's go make that money.